Good morning, everyone. I need to open this vlog because if I don't, it's never going to get done. So, this vlog is me reading all the arcs that I need to read because I am behind. And so, hopefully, you guys can join me in completing at least two. I want to close this vlog out once I've finished two of the arcs that I'm in the middle of. Bonus if I can do three, but I'm going to give myself two books. So let's get started. I recently went to my local coffee shop and I am reading one of the arcs that I'm in the middle of, which is called Vengeance. And the authors are Anna J, Octavia Grant, and Olivia Renee Wallace. And this has already been released. It's on KU. If you want to read it, it is so good. So let me read the synopsis because you guys know I do not read synopsis. I just go in and call it a day. But I don't want to say anything that is not already given. So the synopsis is: for years, Tyrone Houston was known as the quiet, dependable man who ran the Houston family funeral home and crematorium, a pillar of the community, a devoted father, a man who saw the dead every day and treated them with care, or so everyone thought. When Tyrone dies, his children receive a shocking final request: a scavenger hunt through his past. Each clue leads them deeper into hidden rooms, secret records, and graves that shouldn't exist. The truth waiting at the end is worse than any nightmare. Tyrone Houston wasn't just burying the dead, he was creating them. And his daughters had no clue that a real life boogeyman was living right in their home. If you haven't gotten right with the Lord, now is the time. This is not for this faint of heart. And this book is crazy. So these three different authors, I'm assuming is taking maybe a character because we're in the middle of hearing Tyrone, which is the father, and then two of his daughters' perspectives. And so I'm assuming that the three authors probably took a character each and writing their chapters. And because it didn't say in the synopsis what the secret is with Tyrone, I'll leave it at that. But this is wild. So I have the art copy. So I'm hoping that the finished copy was a little improved. With this art copy, there are times where they say a gender, but they meant the opposite gender. And the male kind of reads as a female writer. I don't know if you guys can tell, sometimes when women write male characters, it comes off, the male that's speaking, it comes off as a woman wrote this versus a man writing a man character, if that makes sense. And then even opposite, if a male author is writing a female character, you can kind of tell the male wrote it. So that's what I'm getting here. I am 59% in. It's really, really good. Outside of those little discrepancies, but it's wild. Like when you find out what Tyrone was actually doing and what this funeral home is a part of, and then how it goes back to even his younger days, it's just like, yo. And so Vengeance, I get the did y'all hear that? I get the title for Tyrone, but I'm trying to see if the sisters are going to try to reach their vengeance as well, or enact their vengeance as well. Because one in particular, it seems like it's kind of leading up to it because she is I want to say she's divorced or in the middle of getting a divorce. But yeah, it is good so far. I'm enjoying it. I will check back in. So like I said, I'm at the 60% mark. And basically we are learning that Granddaddy, which is Tyrone's dad, also was involved as well, and we kind of got like some scenes of what he's been teaching Tyrone. Because it doesn't say in the synopsis what is actually going on, that's why I'm not saying much of anything. Read the book. It is really good, like I said so far. I anticipate that this will probably be a 4-star read just based off of my feels with it, because I've been so busy with life, with school, with work. I haven't been able to really sit and read any of my arcs. And so that's why I'm making this video, because I need to get through these arcs, because some of them has already been released. Some of them is about to be released. And so I need to go ahead and get my read on and my review on for the people, for the masses. So I will check back with you. I'm at 60. I'll check back with you when I reach 80%, and we'll go from there. All right.
So I reached 80% and it is really, really good. What I thought was going to happen between one of the sisters and their ex-husband is foreshadowing to happen. And that's the part that I'm at. So if you've read the book, then you gotta know where I'm at. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. Only 20% left. I'm thinking if I want to finish it tonight or if I want to save that for tomorrow. I know this is an arc video, but for some reason I'm a mood reader. Okay, if you don't know that by now, I am a mood reader. And I actually started on again, awkward again. And I just read the first chapter, and the first chapter already has me hooked. So this is what I'm also going to be reading in between these arcs. It's a physical book. This is one of the books that I was supposed to get through this year anyways. If you've seen my 2026 book resolutions, this is one of the ones that I needed to read, or that I first shadowed reading. And I'm kind of in a mood to read this as well. Like I said, I read the first chapter and it's really good. I just met Pacey there, which is a high school student, freshman, literally like first week in a freshman year. According to her, she is a big Star Wars fan. And it's very interesting. I mean, not Star Wars, well, Star Trek. What's the difference? I don't know. Is there a difference? I don't know. I used to watch that growing up, but that was because my mom was into that. But I'm not really a huge fan, so let me know in the comments if that's the same thing or if those are two totally different worlds. But anyways, then the next chapter is Cecil, and it is by two different authors. And so I'm assuming that the woman author is writing the woman part and the male author is writing the male part, which is funny because the arc that I'm reading, Visions, is 3 authors with 3 different characters that are doing the same thing. And so that might be the new vibe. Like, I may think about collaborating on a book with someone and taking that idea. Just, we pick a character, and then we're in charge of writing maybe however many chapters for that character or something. I don't know, but I do like the idea of authors coming together to produce one thing. I know that Breakout, which the authors from there have written Blackout and Whiteout, and then their newest one is Breakout, which I have. So that will probably be in a video coming up soon as well, because I do want to read that. I like that collaboration. And I am rambling. That has nothing to do with the arc. So I think what I'm going to do is probably read the second chapter of this. It's going to be from the guy's point of view. And then I am going to call it here. And then I will meet you all maybe tomorrow when I finish the Vengeance arc. 80% in. I'm almost at the finish line. So I definitely probably can maybe even add an additional arc in this video and actually finish 3 arcs versus 2 arcs. I'm not sure how many pages the other arcs are, but we'll see if I'm able to finish 3 arcs. I'm for sure going to finish this 1 arc. And then hopefully I'm able to finish another one as well. I don't know which other one that I am going to read. I will let you all know that when that time comes. I'm rambling. I'll see you all later. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna finish, or I'm gonna start the next chapter, and then I'll come back and let you all know what I think of it. So, I finished that chapter, Cecil's point of view, and it is fun. It's quirky. It says so the book is on again, awkward again, and these main characters are already showing how awkward they are. So, like I said, she, which is Pacey, Pacy, she is a fan of Star Trek, and her class, she's in a French class, and the teacher was like basically to pick a character or a name. And so her and her friends, they were going back and forth about like what name or persona they wanted to be. And she kind of mentioned as far as falling in love, that they don't feel like they're going to be able to fall in love at school. And then we get to Cecil, who also has a friend, but Cecil has IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. And he his friend is interested in this girl that's in class. And so Cecil is just basically saying how like love is not for him, and that he will never kind of like, he doesn't get that lovey-dovey mess and all these other things. So it's really cute, and it's getting awkward in a sense. Cecil meets this other guy named Godfrey, who basically gave him like a laxative. And so if you have IBS and then you just took a laxative, so now he's like basically about to run to the bathroom. And so at the end of his chapter, it was like IBS 1, Cecil 0. So I think it's really cute. I think I'm really going to enjoy this. I think it's like a real quirky, feel good type of vibe. That's automatically what I'm getting for the first two chapters. And then the next chapter is Pacey. So I think I'm going to just keep alternating between Pacey and Cecil, which is nice. I can't wait to see how they kind of meet. I know from the synopsis, which I didn't read to you all, I guess I could read that now. So it says, love is so awkward. Hope you can see that. It says, love is so awkward. When Pacey Mercado and Cecil Holloway spot each other during the first week of freshman year, it's love at first sight. Well, more like love at first fleeting, injury-riddled glance, since the moment is ruined thanks to clumsiness in a criminal case of IBS. Despite their total lack of game, Pacey and Cecil are drawn to each other. 7 seconds of eye contact turns into days of yearning and stress as they make the mistake of following misguided advice from their friends, dysfunctional families, and strangers on the internet. But the universe conspires to bring Pacey and Cecil together when they both end up on the committee to plan the freshman dance. As they spend more time together, they realize that the other person might be just what they need. That is, if they can figure out how to be themselves and embrace the mishaps, mistakes, and hilariously awkward interactions that make up their imperfectly perfect love story. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like, I'm really, really excited. It's really making me actually want to finish the arc that I'm in so that I can read more in this. But I'm not going to finish the arc until tomorrow. I'm going to give myself tomorrow to kind of just finish that out. And then I'll probably get maybe halfway into this one, and then I'll start my next arc. I didn't look at the other arcs that I have in my queue, because I will tell you all that once I get to that point, but I'm going to go now and kind of look over what I have and then decide what I do want to start next, because I know for sure I'm gonna finish Vengeance. Right now is it's a 5 for me at 80%. I see that it's going to be a 5, but depending on how it ends, because of the type of content that it is, depending on how it ends is going to determine if I keep it at a 5 or if I go down some stars. So we'll see from there. As of right now, I'm enjoying it, even with the confusion of like what genders we're talking about, like who are we talking about, and some of the typos. But like I said, I have the ARC version, so hopefully the version that you will read is different and those things have been fixed. But that doesn't take away from the story, like I said. And so right now it's a 5 star, and we'll see what I give it at the end of me reading this. So I'm going to end this here for tonight. I will see you all tomorrow. I finished Vengeance and I ended up giving it a 4 star. It was really good. The only reason why I gave it a 4 star is because I kind of predicted that one of the exes from the sisters was going to end up in the position that he was in, but I felt like the justice that was done, I felt like they took an easy route for him, and I feel like it could have more could have happened. There was a shock factor in the book towards the end when you find out like the realty of what's been going on and who all is involved in it, but the shock factor didn't hit me like I think the authors intended for it to hit me. Not saying that you probably wouldn't be shocked, but I just wasn't shocked at that revelation, because the way that it was going, the way that the storyline was unfolding, I pretty much figured that that shock factor was there, that person knew. I'll just leave it at that. But overall, 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I think the next book that I'm going to read is The Space Between, which I'm popping it up right now. I'm going to read that. I still have On Again, Awkward Again. I ended up also getting the audio, so I'm going to listen while I follow along. I think what I'm gonna do is get into this first, maybe read a couple more chapters, and then I will start The Space Between, and I will bring you guys along for that ride when I'm actually reading The Space Between. One arc down. I really have one more to go, but I'm gonna try to get 2 more in here, so we'll see how that goes. So I wanted to come on real quick because I'm now in chapter 9 of On Again, Awkward Again. It's very, very cute story. So basically, Cecil is getting kind of like advice on how to talk to a girl. His mom shared that something that his dad did was basically like ask her questions about her, not necessarily like her interests and stuff like that, but just like getting to know about her. And so Cecil had an awkward moment when he met Pacey again, because he kind of like just stumbled on his words and stuff like that. So that was kind of like a fail. And then he was telling his friend about it, and his friend has a girlfriend, and his friend was giving him advice saying that like all I did was basically insulted my girl, and we were in a relationship the next day. Like the girl runs track, and so his friend was like, I bet you I could race you. And they raced, but she won, and then like the next day they're in a relationship. And so he's like, oh, maybe I should try that. So it's just like kind of cute to kind of see this young love, I guess, try to form, and then how they're kind of like, they're clearly interested in each other, but they don't know what to say to each other. And then when they do get around each other, it's awkward. And then now Pacey is in charge of this like committee that's going on for a school dance, and he has to now contact her. So now he has her number, and that's kind of where I left off. But overall, I am enjoying the book. It's really, really good. I believe, like, so far it's already a 5, and like I said, I just reached chapter 9. But we'll see as the time goes on. In between me reading this and the space between, I've finished a few audios and books, but not nothing worth adding to this video. I think what I'm gonna do is do a separate video of audibles that I had finished, that I enjoy, and that I feel like you all should listen to. So look for that video coming up. I started the space between, but I didn't really like it. Like it, I was kind of getting bored with it, and obviously because it's the arc, I have to read it. So I'm thinking I'm going to try another book first of an arc, and then maybe hit that one last. But I haven't decided on that because I've been making some headway on Again, Awkward Again. I want to get maybe halfway into on Again, Awkward Again before maybe I try another arc, because like I said, I am enjoying the story and it's kind of keeping my attention thus far, and I would hate to try to go to another story and it's just dragging, and that's where reading slumps come in, and we don't need none of that. So that's what I'm doing. I will catch you all later. I know I should be reading my arcs, but really I have been reading Possessed by Junie P. So I had got this a while ago. It's been on my bookshelf for a while, and this is one of the books as well that is from the 2026 resolution that I want to read this year, and this really has been keeping my attention. So I guess, I go into things blindly, so I guess I must have misinterpreted what this book is about, because I'm not really getting the possessiveness in this book. I'm already like, this is where I'm at. So this bottom is where I've read already, and I just have this much left. So basically I'm on chapter 23, and it is 30 chapters, so I got 7 more chapters left. But I'm not really getting the possessed part. I'm getting bad choices. I'm getting low self-esteem. I'm getting all these things, and I'm just really waiting for, I guess, the gotcha, because the tragedy that happens with Zunima, I think is how you say her name. It kind of happened in the first few chapters. I think the first chapter, to be honest with you. But after a while, it's just like, okay, what is going on here? And then they're talking about this chain that's around their neck. I don't know if that's like a metaphor for saying that this man has this tied against her or over her. But yeah, I was going in with high expectations, and then now it's kind of like dwindling for me. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I believe I'm going to finish this book, and then I'm going to come back to you, and I'm going to have to cancel or end this video here, because it is getting to the point where I need to actually release it to you all and get it in the queue. So once I finish the book, I'll come back, give you all my final thoughts, give you my rating, and then it will be the end of this vlog. I will possibly do another vlog for next week, and that will be hopefully finishing 2 arcs, if not 1. There is an audio arc that I have that I know I want to get through, so I'll definitely know that I can be able to finish that one, and then I'll see which other arcs that I add to that video. So I'm gonna continue reading, and I will come back later. So I finished Possessed, and I actually enjoyed the last like 3 chapters of it. I was hoping that what we found out about Dante,
I was hoping that was more of towards the middle of the book, because that was the most interesting part of it all. But I don't like the fact that we got that interesting part like literally the last 3 chapters of the book. And so I am giving this a 3.5 because of the new, like, when you learn who Dante is and his whole scheme of things. That's what made the book interesting for me. I felt like the backstory of Zonima wasn't really relevant to the ending. I mean, a little bit was, as far as her past, but we got a lot of backstory and stuff with Zonima. I think I'm saying that right. That just really wasn't exciting for me. The towards the end is what was exciting for me, and I wish we got more of that. So 3.5, Possessed, completed. Another book that I was supposed to read this year that's completed. I am going to end this vlog here. Thank you all for watching. Please comment down below if you've read any of these books, or if you want to read any of these books. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, do all those things. I thank you. See you next time. Bye.